Hi there and welcome to season 2017-18 from me, Wayne, your head coach at Chesham Swimming Club. What we're trying to do at Chesham is build Team Chesham. So we will again in this year in team competitions such as the Milton Keynes Junior League and the Arena League be giving everyone who comes along to swim an individual swim. For us, these team competitions are all about team building. We're not worried about winning or losing. What we do want is we want everyone to feel that they are part of the team. And to be part of the team, you really need to do an individual swim. Now, to be successful, we have to do the things that make us successful. And the first thing we're doing is concentrating on skills very much in this early part of the season, this first 2 weeks. Before we go on to major strokes, etc., we want your starts and turns to be absolutely perfect every time. And there's only one way to do that, and that's for us to get on your back to make sure you're always streamlined and always doing the right number of kicks underwater before you come to the surface. Only by practicing it perfectly will you get it perfectly done in a race. To get success, we need more people at county championships, regional championships and national championships, and the only way we're going to do that is actually get you entering races. So we have a club calendar. The races will be coming out on the Team Unify system, and they're very, very easy to enter. Please enter these races wherever you can, because we want the maximum number of swimmers developing the best team atmosphere at each gala to generate success from all of our swimmers. Now, success doesn't come easy. It comes from doing the right things, and there are a few right things I'd like to get into your head right now. The first one is arriving early at training. We need you at training on poolside about 10 minutes before each session starts. If you note, parents, we write the sessions up on the board before the session, and we would like you to be there in order to read those session plans before you get into the water. If you do that, then we waste the minimum amount of time. And wasting the minimum amount of time means we'll get the maximum practice in. And that's what it's really about. Actually getting through the sessions that we want to get through, because there's a lack of waste of time. And if you turn up late, unfortunately, this season we will not necessarily let you swim unless you have a good reason for being late. There's other things that contribute to success as well. Bring in the right kit. Everyone in the club should have a pull buoy, a kickboard, and bring their fins to every session. And if you are in a performance squad, we not only want your pull buoy, your fins and your kickboard, but we also want you to have a snorkel and paddles. As optional extras, you can do things like the tempo trainer. Now, one of my most treasured sayings is dare to be different, and we're going to be different this year. This year I'm going to share training plans ahead of time with the performance squad, senior performance squad, through a thing called Training Peaks. Training Peaks is a programming software or training software that follows your progress and allows me and yourself to see how fit you're becoming and how you're adapting to training, how tired you are, how ready you are to race, how fit you are. I can see all that through Training Peaks, especially if you have one of these watches, either a Garmin, this is a 735 XT, or a Garmin Swim Watch, or a Garmin Vivo Active. Now, they are not the only watches that will upload to Training Peaks, but effectively what happens is every session will be there. When you upload from a watch, it attaches to that session, and we can compare what we were planning to do with what happened. But not only that, you can put post-race comments on each session, so it becomes a complete training log for the year. You can see what you've done, what you've missed, and we then can see how you might perform against where we want you to be. I'm going to go to the computer and show you that so that you understand precisely what I mean by the Training Peaks plan. So here we are looking at my coach's account and the national plan called Chesham Annual Plan to Nationals 2018. And this will run all the way through to the Nationals at 2018, and hopefully we'll have a few people there. And you can see it's already been populated with 2 weeks full of session plans. And each of those session plans
because this is a dynamic plan, is on the people who already are part of the plan: Teague, Charlotte and Luke. And all of those people actually have watches, but you don't need a watch to take part in this particular exercise and to know exactly what we're doing every single session plan. All you need is a free Training Peaks account, which you can get by clicking through on the link on the email that came with this link for this video. So the overall plan is going to be populated weekly, but from each individual swim you can get quite a lot of information just from the description you see here. For example, if you look at this 4,850 metre swim, it's going to include breaststroke practices, feel for the water, and our traditional Friday night relays. So someone can see what we're going to do before we actually get to that individual session. If we actually open up a particular session, we've got histograms, a complete description or easy description of the actual session, and if we click the histograms we get a complete list of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and the intensities we're going to do them at. For example, here, front crawl hard on 1 minute, front crawl hard on 1 minute, and we're expecting 80% of maximum heart rate, 95% of maximum heart rate, followed by recovery easy on 145 at 55% of maximum heart rate. And you can see the histograms up here reflect that in the height of the histogram itself. So you can get huge amounts of information from this, and if you have a watch, what you do with the watch is going to be compared to what we've planned on the individual session, and that is incredibly useful. Of course, you don't need a watch. You can still use the whole system, and it is free, or you can have a premium account without actually having a smartwatch to use. Now, the 3 people currently who are on the Chesham system have watches, and when they complete an exercise, we actually turn yellow. Everything turns yellow when they've done it, or red if they potentially haven't. I don't quite understand this on Luke's because he did do the Thursday session. Perhaps he didn't have his watch on for that particular one. But if we open one, we can see that now the completed yardage is actually in there, and obviously something has gone slightly awry. We might have missed out something because it's 4,300 actually done at an average pace of 122, calories used, and a TSS score of 60.4. Now TSS eventually will show how fit someone is, how fatigued they are, and actually how ready they are to race. So that's an incredibly useful thing that comes from the watch. But as I say, you don't need a watch to actually do this. I'm just going to save and close. Well, no, I won't save and close. For all of you, whether you've got a watch or not, you will have this section, which is pre-activity comments and post-activity comments. And you can put in there, you should put in there, anything that you really want to about the session, whether it was good, bad, whether you liked particular things, whether you felt you were doing particularly things right, whether there's things you need to work on in the future. So you can put it there and it becomes a really good training diary. Now I can do, if I open this one, which is with this one, which is tonight's session that we're going to do, and I'm going to write something in Luke's particular pre-activity comments. There you go. Oh no. Remember, 6 fly kicks off of every wall. Now I'm going to save this and close that, and that will only appear on Luke's particular session because I haven't done it on the dynamic plan. I've done it on Luke's individual plan. I'm just trying to remind him that please do these 6 fly kicks off every wall, and we'll cement that in your muscle memory and it'll just become natural. So there you go. We have the whole week, and I can give individual swimmers individual tips, and they can actually tell me how things are going in those post-activity comments. Okay, so that's Training Peaks, and you can see it offers a huge variety of things that we can use to assess your swimming, and everybody in the performance squad should use it as a training log.
Make notes after swims about particular things you liked, disliked, particular things you thought you were doing well, you need to work on, etc. How you felt during the day, if you'd eaten well, if you hadn't eaten well. Suddenly we get a training log that you can actually look at next year and see how you did. You can learn from it and improve from it. Okay, so as you can tell, we're developing new things all the time in an effort to make Chesham Swimming Club the best swimming club it can potentially be, and all of our swimmers the best swimmers they can be. Okay, if you need me, email me. You've also got my telephone number, so please do that. I'm happy to talk to you at any time. So thanks very much. Let's look forward to a great season, and let's do those things necessary that can make us all better swimmers.